family. My name is Vicki Dillard, African Diaspora News Channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to give us a big thumbs up, and share the broadcast. That way other people will know that we're here. And for that, we say thank you so very much, family. Now, you all know that the United States of America is only the United States of America because Foundation of Black Americans literally created it and brought it into existence. I don't care where you are in America, and I don't care where you're around the world. I don't care what little bit of propaganda you've been taught that white founding fathers did something for this country. They didn't. They didn't build stuff, and we did more than pick cotton, okay? We built some of the most grand edifices here throughout Washington, D.C., not only many of the buildings, but also we did the actual layout. Our hand was involved in setting up the actual government system itself. Do you understand that? We are the minds behind many of its inventions, even though many of the inventions were given credit to white folks. Ours was stolen through patent legal means and so forth. So just let's be clear. Do your homework before that, okay? So whatever you've been taught all these years, it's wrong. So with that being said, you haven't given us one red cent. You've given slaveholders reparations, literally, for those of you that don't know, because they considered us to be property. When the Emancipation Proclamation was signed, because we were considered to be property, the government had to reimburse some of the slaveholders for their losses. The powers that shouldn't be continue to exploit us and to benefit off of us. We understand very clearly other people groups in these United States of America that did not go through the hell that we went through. Neither did they build the United States of America, but they got reparations, just like descendants of those that were Japanese that were in the Japanese internment camp for a couple of years here. That was wrong, but they weren't strung up on trees. They weren't set on fire. They weren't deleted. White Afghans in recent history, white Ukrainians in the United States, they getting disability, SSI, and a whole bunch of other stuff, housing, cars, and we're sending hundreds of billions of dollars over there in Ukraine to fight this unlawful proxy war. We're seeing legal immigrants and illegal immigrants get resources. We're seeing that trillions and trillions of dollars are spent all over the world for these unlawful and godless wars. But y'all can't give the founding fathers and mothers reparations, and then we have to sit here and listen to folks that are not foundational Black Americans, Black folks that come from other parts of the world to come here and get in positions that we help you get in, only for you to turn around and use those positions and veto what's justly due for us, like reparations, just like this non-FBA governor of Maryland. Watch this brief clip.
Joining me now, also in Washington, Maryland Democratic Governor Wes Moore. Good to have you back, Governor.
Great to be back. Thank you.
Okay, so I want to play a little bit more. This woman appears to be a constituent of yours in Maryland. This is that very heated town hall that Democratic Congressman Glenn Ivey had. Here's a little bit of what she had to say.
I'm going to answer his question. I'm going to answer his question. I'm going to answer his question. You're not going to get me upset. And they have the right. They have the right to ask. They have the right to ask questions. They have the right to ask questions.
Clearly, you can hear the frustration there. Axios reports that one House Democrat called a colleague crying and saying, "They hate us. They hate us." What is the message for people like this woman, who I think is a constituent of yours, who feels so frustrated at this point?
I think people are angry and they're scared, and frankly, they're justified. Because I think this is the same frustration that I think people came out last November, where I think people were looking for a solution. I think people were looking for disruption. I think they've gotten destruction. And I think that's the thing that is making people so scared. I mean, we've continued to go all around the state of Maryland. I was just up in Frederick County this past week, which is a purple area in the state of Maryland, at a federal job fair, where we were helping federal workers who have been laid off now find new jobs. And I remember speaking with one guy, a guy named Steve, who told me he voted for me and he's a Republican. And he said that he has not told his children that he's been laid off. So every single morning he still gets up and puts on a suit, so his kids don't have to know that he's gotten laid off. People are angry, they are scared, they are frustrated, they have a reason to be. And that's why I think the answer is not about our rhetoric, not about what's the pitch that we're making our argument in. You've got to deliver results.
Now, what you just saw there is this Wes Moore governor the first black governor, Maryland's first black governor, and I believe he's the only black sitting governor right now in the United States. His funny looking self tried to justify vetoing a bill when even his own Congressional Black Caucus called him out for doing that. He wanted to pivot to talk about some other little wild, weird things. This is what we're talking about. He sits there on Fox News and does this interview. It was more to the interview. It was about a 10-minute segment. But he tried to pivot when he was called out and the lady showed him that video. Now, Fox News is really pushing this. Let me show you this article. This is a headline here from Fox News that says, once again, Maryland's first black governor blocks reparations bill, disappointing fellow Democrats. It says the nation's only sitting black governor vetoed reparations legislation, dealing a blow to fellow Democrats and emphasizing his preference to, quote, focus on the work itself rather than form commissions. Now, that may sound like it sound good rather than form commissions. No, he should have said, no, let's cut checks. That's the work. Not just little general little policy stuff that everybody benefits from and that black folks disproportionately benefit from. We don't need legislation that everybody gets benefits from when everybody didn't go through slavery and everybody didn't go through Jim Crow. That's the difference. They go on to say Maryland Governor Wes Moore vetoed SB 587 legislation sponsored by State Senator C. Anthony Muse, a Democrat from Forest Heights, that would have established the Maryland Reparations Commission. The commission would have been tasked with providing recommendations by 2027, quote, relating to appropriate benefits to be offered to African Americans impacted by slavery and historic inequality. I applaud the legislature's work on this bill, and I thank the Black Caucus for their leadership, Moore said in his veto message. He says, quote, we have moved in partnership with leaders across the state to uplift black families and address racial disparities in our communities. That is the context in which I have made these difficult decisions. He's got to go, and I'm demanding every black foundational black American and every other so-called ally in that region hold him accountable. The voting constituency, the residents of that area. We will not continue to let you get away with this dastardly behavior and activity. Shame on you. You are a devil of the highest sort. Now, I'm highlighting the fact that not only is Fox News doing interviews, they're doing print pieces. They want to highlight these things because they're trying to show, look, even the quote-unquote blacks don't want y'all to get it. It's not just us, mean old little white folks. That's the reason why I have to give you all black-looking people that everlasting work. I can't wait to hear what you have to say about it below, family. Be sure to tap in with me at the Vicki Dillard Mystery School. Check it out on my website at VickiPlanet.com. I offer all sorts of services. My students have been getting absolute breakthroughs, miracles, signs, and wonders. Follow my work. Beloved, again, join the Vicki Dillard Mystery School today in order to tap into the high magic so that miracles and wonders, you can begin to manifest them in your own life in your unique way at VickiPlanet.com.